Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Arnold Classic UK 2024 series. This is part 3 of my videos of the weekend, and I'm starting the day as I mean to go on in a perma-bulking fashion with a nice hearty breakfast here. And upcoming in this episode we have got a special invite that I had very early in the morning to go and watch Arnold training with Heath on the Panatta area. I was invited in by the event organisers that I met last night to go and watch that with about 20 people. So there's footage of Arnold Schwarzenegger training with the Gift, Heath. So you got the Gift and the Governator training. Then we've got an interview with the biggest bodybuilder that was at the whole expo, who's a friend of mine, and that's going to be a very useful interview for you guys. And then rounding out the video, some final thoughts from me and some comments about last night and the show and what you can take from the series of 3 videos here. So I hope you enjoy it. If you've got any questions, remember to leave them in the comments. If you like all the bodybuilding commentary and advice and workouts and all the rest of it, remember to subscribe, and I'll be back with another video tomorrow. It's a video every day. Appreciate all of your support and speak soon. Hey guys, I'm here with Josh Marley. I've been searching all weekend for someone bigger than me, and I found Josh. What's your stats at the moment, Josh?
So 350 pounds this morning. So yeah,
350 pounds this morning. So He's approximately 50, well, to be exact, 52 pounds heavier than me. So
got a few inches on you though. I'm 6'6". That's what
you're 6'6", I'm 6'3".
Okay.
So maybe your shoes are a little bit flatter, or if I stand back. There it is to scale. So, what would you say the main challenges are when you're getting to that extreme kind of weight? I'm experiencing a few difficulties, but what would you say the main challenges have been for you when you've been on the way up, growing all this size?
So I think, like, for me, I've been heavy before. This is the 350 is like a 10-pound PB, so to speak, in terms of the weight.
Yeah.
And I've definitely felt it. So just general breathing, like, obviously you said you watch my YouTube. One of the comments I do read quite a lot is, "Oh, listen to this guy breathe." Like, it's loud. Sleeping, which has always been like, I mean, over 300 pounds. I think sleeping is never going to be amazing. The big thing for me is like the lethargy, like the just general level of fatigue, and like I've got probably like a 2-hour window when I train where I feel fucking brilliant, and then the rest of the day is a slog. And like productivity, especially as I've been like lighter on prep, and I know that like, I can refer back to how good I have felt, and then how sluggish I feel now, and then that's the one that kills me because you just feel lazy, and I'm not inherently a lazy guy, but you have no choice. It's you know, your body's just saying, I don't really want to move very much, so I'm not going to.
Wow. And do you get much relief from that as you come down in weight and cardio comes in more as you get into a prep situation? Do you get a bit of relief from that?
Yeah, like, I mean,
I'm hoping so, because I'm in this situation.
You definitely will, mate. For me, like around 330, I feel pretty normal now.
Right, because it's like relative to the top end.
Yeah, so. Exactly. And like if you look back at like previous off seasons, I probably hit 330 for the first time maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. So I've been there many times now and more acclimatised to it. Obviously, tail end of prep, I'm around 300 pounds, and if you take away the prep feels, the just no food and no energy that way, I feel good. You know, all the joints I mentioned, you like ankles, knees. If you've been walking around all weekend, the start season up, lower back, all that dissipates, and you sort of you feel more athletic, so to speak, for within the realms of bodybuilding.
And in terms of like sustaining that and the challenges that come with that, I'm looking after a few people that are on the bulking program, and they complain about being able to eat enough. Do you have any strategies about getting enough food in terms of meal order, food choices, food preparation choices, and things?
I think rice-based products for me, and I think for most people, digestibility-wise, and that's what it comes down to. It's, you know, a burger might sound great, but a burger's going to sit in you for however long, and then we actually break down like how frequent you can eat if you're eating, you know, a lean protein and rice, and like I'll tend to have olive oil, so we're not getting any extra food volume, or we're getting the extra calories from there. I'll keep veg in. But like that will, like, it's kind of veg that adds to the meal from a like palatability point of view. Like I like tomatoes, like they, you know, that kind of, it softens meals up. If they've got a bit of dry chicken, a bit of tomato in there, will help massively.
So with the fats, you've got like the olive oil on the carbs, so the easiest digesting would be like white rice and white rice products. You said lean proteins. What would be your 2 or 3 go-tos? Let's cover that.
So whey protein, obviously. And then pretty much just chicken for me. Sometimes like a bit of tuna on a rest day, and then like rest days if fats are a bit higher, like salmons and things like that. But generally a training day is just going to be like eggs, egg whites, and then 2 chicken meals and a couple of whey meals. And then around training, again, like that's where, you know, I'll have cereal. I'm one of the guys who has cereal.
I can't do that.
So I had I had cream of rice for a good amount of time, but the volume was just too much, and so I switched back to cereal. And like I find that window I can tolerate, like higher sugar, and again just the food volume is so much lower for the calories I'm getting in. You get like kind of 250 grams of carbs in very easily.
That's really good.
So like as food comes down the prep, I will switch that out.
Are there any supplements that you rely on to aid digestion? I know there's certain compounds in certain foods that can help you break down protein easier. Is there any supplement product that you use in that?
So I'm not like a big digestive enzyme guy. I don't really like. I think like you want your body to be able to break down naturally, so to speak. But then when it comes to like probiotics, like I'm sponsored by Strong, so they do a product called Digest Max, which funnily enough is to help with digestion, especially when food's high. So it's got a probiotic blend in there, it's got fibre, it's got everything you sort of need to keep things moving through, and also making sure that your gut's in a healthy place. And that definitely helps, apart from that, I wouldn't really say much more on like supplement wise.
I don't use any supplements myself, like nutritional supplements.
Like one thing that I find is like I only do 5 meals. Like the general thing is 6, but I find that like with 5 I can actually have longer between meals, that just for me I can eat more per meal, have a bit longer, and then go again. Whereas like the 6, you almost like I felt like I was rushing meals, and they weren't as big as they are now. So yeah, that's one thing that I think made a difference to me getting food in. Not only it's about the consistency, you know what I mean? Like, not only do you want to get it in every week, you want to get it every week for fucking however many months you have to. And that 5 meals just keeps it possible for me. Yeah.
I'm more the same. I'm more 5 myself, but that's really helpful advice. I'm sure that'll be really useful to sort of the bigger viewers and
at the end of the day,
subscribers.
not everything in bodybuilding, it's your choice. You just got to get it done. So you know, sometimes it just comes down to grit.
But it's the training that we love the most.
Exactly.
And on that point, as a much taller man, is there any exercise choices that you'd recommend to certain people based on their structural body type?
I think structure is a funny one because you can both be tall, but you can still be different.
Yeah, like different relative limb lengths. Yeah.
So, like the height doesn't factor too much outside of machine selection, because I think as a taller guy, you'll get in some machines and it just won't feel right, no matter how low you put the seat, or how much either the range won't be there, or it'll be too bunched up.
So as a rule of thumb, would you think it's fair? I mean, my conclusions are it would probably be fair to say that the more, whether it's height or relative bone lengths and things like that, the more outside of the norm you are in whatever way, the more it's going to be free weights rather than machine squats.
On that particular, Or if you're lucky to go to a gym with a lot of machines, it's just a question of sort of siphoning off the ones that you don't fit in and don't feel good. And,
there's quite a few I don't fit in at this point.
Exactly. So like, I'll watch videos of guys smaller than me and think, oh, that's amazing, like you can see everything working, and you get on it and you're like, that just doesn't feel good. And I'm a big believer in feel when it comes to training. Because yes, you want to get strong, but if you can't feel, then what are you doing? You're just moving things through.
Well, it's strong with the target muscle or muscle group.
Exactly. So without that connection, it's something to be a bit aware.
So we'll see you on stage in the autumn, will we?
September time,
That'll be your pro debut,
Well, officially, that'll be my pro debut season. Technically, I did.
You jumped straight into the same one.
It's a bit of a funny one, so
And is there anything you'd like to mention to the audience about your coaching business at all?
I mean, if anyone is looking for a coach, you can find me on Instagram, Team Viking Ltd. I've got my YouTube channel as well, which, I'll be honest, I think if you type in Josh Maley, hopefully that'll come up. And Instagram, or again at Josh Maley, Josh_Maley. If you've got any questions, feel free to direct message me, and I'll do my best to get back to you.
Nice one. And lastly, just for a bit of fun,
Go for it.
I met a very famous bodybuilder yesterday, and he refused to pose down and a rear lat spread comparison.
Okay.
Will you take me on in a rear lat spread?
Can I keep my top on?
Keep the top on, yeah.
And yes. You've chosen probably my worst pose.
Yeah, I chose my best one, obviously. Got on then.
Are we going to fit in?
We'll fit in. Will we fit in? Maybe we won't. I don't know. Mate, that's perfect. Thank you. I'm now back in London to finish off this video on the Arnold Classic, and I really enjoyed that last half day. But it was just a half day as I had to make it back in time, and I really enjoyed that interview you just seen with Big Josh, Viking Josh. I can't believe that he's sort of saying that he feels quite athletic at 330 pounds, because on my road to 300, I found it quite difficult, but it's very inspiring to see someone that's made it that much further in their ridiculous games. And yeah, what a nice guy. I was looking forward to meeting him, and I'd like to say a thank you to everyone that I've interviewed for this series. Logan Franklin, Dave Crossland, and Josh Marley. I'm very grateful for your time and providing some awesome content for my viewers here. Very different kind of topics addressed, but I think anyone that would take those 3 interviews and really follow up on some of the ideas on that would be very far ahead with their physique progress for sure. So that's been a great part of the experience doing the interviews. But there's some other bits I didn't capture on camera that I'd like to recount now. And a lot of that is what happened in the hotel, because I was staying at the hotel where everyone else was. So I mentioned in the last video about meeting Ronnie Coleman and getting the book signed. Well, on the last night I met Hadi Choopan, the winner. So I'll share this photo here. If you can see that when it comes into focus. Yeah, just about. So it was a little bit difficult to meet him, because he was with all of the Everton lot and Hanny Rambod and everyone. And as I said before, I didn't want to intrude where inappropriate, and that's why I didn't do any filming in the hotel restaurant for meeting certain people. But I did see a moment to meet Hadi there, and I do know that he doesn't speak English, and it's a little bit hard of hearing on one side, I believe. So when a seat became free next to him, I thought, how can I approach this and maybe get a photo and congratulate him? And what I did, I sort of went on to Google Translate on my phone and wrote a little message of congratulations and welcome to England. And I actually was a bit cheeky. I put in there that we all think here that he should have won the 2023 Mr. Olympia. So I put all of that in Google Translate, had it translated to, I think it's Farsi, isn't it? Persian, Farsi. So I couldn't read it by the time it was translated for him, and I just sort of tapped him on the shoulder and said, have a look at this. And he goes, oh, thank you, brother, give me a hug. And then we took a picture, and amazing bodybuilder, surely the best in the world currently. He never misses the mark, does he? So he did win the Arnold Classic, and there's videos of that all over the place if you want to see how the finals went. But for me, I really like Samson as well. I think for me, I just like them in different ways, and it's quite a subjective kind of competition doing bodybuilding, and I like them in different ways. I think Hadi, for never missing the mark, and his level of experience and highly detailed conditioning is amazing. But I do think Samson is really getting there. I think it was closer this time than even 2 weeks ago. I think the shape and structure and flow that Samson has, he could be a modern day Lee Haney in time. But I think people expect these things to happen more and more quickly than they possibly can. I think how Samson's risen up the ranks in the last couple of years is extremely fast, and to expect him to be sort of going all the way at this stage would be prodigious. And he's doing very nicely, and I think he was probably at his best ever in the finals of this event. I think perhaps he would have won, or it been even closer still, if he hadn't faded a little bit in the prejudging. But both of them very amazing. And I didn't get a chance to meet Samson, but if you've watched all my previous videos, you'll know that I met him before anyway, and can only say good things about Samson as well. So that was part of my experience on the last evening at the hotel. But I was also approached by quite a few people. Quite exciting to me. I wasn't really expecting this or thinking along these lines, but I was approached by a couple of companies about maybe sponsorships. I sort of don't know how I feel about that. I want to take my time making my right choices, but all very flattering all the same. But most significantly, as I was approached on that last night by the expo organisers and got talking in the hotel bar, and that was how I got the first clips of this video, was that they invited me very kindly to join a small group of people and be permitted to film Arnold training with Phil Heath on the Panatta area. So that's where that footage came from early Sunday morning, before everyone else was was allowed into the expo halls. And I'd like to, as I've thanked my interviewers, I'd like to say a personal thanks to Pete Evans and the rest of the Arnold Expo organising team for treating me so well and permitting me to film that in this last edition here. So, all an amazing part of the experience for me, something I won't forget, and I look forward to going to more expos like this because I've had such a positive experience that I would definitely go again to the UK Arnolds, and would even be tempted to travel further afield to something like FIBO if these events and all the networking that comes with it is going to be just this good. So that's part of the rest of my experience, but I was just very lucky in what a great time I've had as well, because a huge coincidence for me is who I ended up sat next to on the finals, which happened since I put out the last video. So for the finals show, there's maybe a couple of thousand seats, and I'd booked one on my own because my friends were there the day before, not for the last day. And so I sat in, and as I joined, a gentleman joined next to me, little bit older than myself, but in great shape, and like obviously like a bodybuilding fan. I started talking to him about the show, about the weekend. We're getting on really well, and he just turned to me and he said, "That's a really nice shirt you've got," and sort of half smiled. I was wearing my Explosive Fibres, the gothic print one, rag top, and I just sort of, it twigged as I looked at him and he said it in that way. I was like, no, surely not. And it turns out it's Richard Reeder, who owns Explosive Fibres and has been running it for the last 40 years, who are one of my favourite clothing brands. Well, Explosive Fibres and Gasp are my favourite clothing brands. So of all the people to be sat next to for the final show, it was him, and that was really cool. He was like me in being very interested in classic physique in particular. So we shared our views on bodybuilding as a whole and got on really well. That I was really not expecting. I was very fortunate there. I didn't have time for a workout yesterday, well, for the last day because of making it back. But I'll be back in the gym very soon. The other thing I should mention about the videos and the stuff on the weekend is a couple of you asked if I was going to interview or speak to Sam Sulek, and I did meet him very briefly. I've got a little picture. It's quite fun. He's really nice in real life, as you might imagine. Where is it? Here we go. There we go. There's old Sam and young Sam there. So I did meet. Silly phone. Yeah, there he is. There's the man at the moment. Obviously the most popular one probably at the whole expo at the moment, remarkably. But it was very rushed and there wasn't an opportunity to film anything, so I have to apologise for that if that was a request that was important to anyone. But I would say that as young Sam is probably the most prolific content creator in the whole world in this niche at the moment. His views on everything to do with this are kind of already out there because he records so much and gets all these videos out. So I don't know if there's so much to be gained from an interview there, but I did get to meet him briefly, and he did mention to me that he really liked the gym here and has enjoyed his stay. So I'd like to wish Sam and the rest of the Hostile team all the best, and commiserations about the result with Samson, but I think he has an amazing future ahead of him, and depending on what you like, you could sort of say he's the best anyway. But that happened, and right now, as I round this off, I'm finishing on an amazing meal. Look, they do this burger. It's a waffle. It's a breakfast waffle burger. It's one of the best burgers I've ever had, I have to say. So I'm going to make headway with this so that my journey to £300 doesn't get derailed too much by the catching up on sleep and the trip away. Stay tuned for more content on all matters bodybuilding, contests, events, workouts, diet planning, nutrition advice, PED info, all of it. in the coming days, weeks and months, and I'll be back online very soon. Cheers.